Hi folks, Kim Schofield here. Today I am here with a really quick video today showcasing two cards featuring a brand new stamp set from Sweet and Sassy. So here's one of them and here is the second one. So today I'm going to be working on two different techniques, both really simple. One is watercoloring and one is embossing. So you can see the stamp set here. This is called Floral Greetings. It's brand new from Sweet and Sassy. So what I did already was emboss using a Wendy Vecchi embossing powder and also just this opaque white that I have onto a piece of watercolor cardstock. And I've also stamped some of those butterflies onto the same watercolor cardstock. And here are the colors that I have picked to watercolor with. These are the Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers, and they're the bomb. If you don't have them, you need them. They are fantastic. So now the video is going to be going pretty quickly here. I'm starting with my lightest shade, and I am using a watercolor brush from Ranger. This is a brush that has water in the barrel. And so really it just kind of flows out of the brush when you use it. It's fantastic. I love this for watercoloring. So I'm starting with my lightest color, and I know it's a little difficult to see because I embossed white on top of white. So I'm just going around the edges of all of the flowers with this light pink color. I did, when I was embossing, I did put the powder onto each flower as I went. I stamped this about 4 times using Versamark ink. And the reason I did that is because the white on white, it is really challenging to see where that embossing ink is. So when you put the embossing powder onto that ink, it's much easier to see that. And that way you can make sure you're not overlapping the images, because I wanted them close together but didn't want them touching. So now I'm going back with my lightest green color. And kind of one of the things I found with this stamp, which is so beautiful, I love this floral image. This stamp set includes 2 images. This one in particular didn't have as much open space as the second stamp did, which means that some of those lines, which if I had stamped in black, there would have been more black showing than the paper. And so what I found was that with the white embossing powder, I did end up with thicker white lines than I did with the second card and the second flower stamp in the set. So I did go in there, you saw, and dried some of that with my heat tool just because I wanted to start working on the background and I didn't want anything to bleed into each other. So now I'm using this really bright yellow, and I'm putting the color down right up close to the image, and then I'm blending that out to the right side of the card because I want it to go from this darker yellow out to white on the other side. And so all those areas that are on the left-hand side of my card will stay that dark yellow, and then on the right-hand side, it will blend out and be very, very pale and then just go off to white. And I love these markers because when you're working, you do have to work on watercolor paper. I want to stress that. They will not work very well on any other kind of cardstock. But you just hit them with water and they just instantly blend and bleed. They're beautiful. You don't actually even need to use water. You can blend with them just one color on top of another. And so now I'm going in with some of my shadowing, adding in the darker shade. Anywhere where there be any petals overlapping around the edge, and then the middle part of those petals will stay a little bit lighter shade. And then you can see I'm going in with the darker shade, and then I'm going back in to blend that again. So I'm kind of doing 2 steps there. And then you'll see I kind of go around the darker edges, and then I'll clean off my brush a little bit. I just pull some of the ink off with my fingers. Then I'll go back and blend over the entire thing. And so now we will cut away to the finished card. See, everything is colored in here. And I've colored a few of those little butterfly images. And I just stamped a sentiment in white embossing powder and put some foam tape down there. and attach that on. That's just on some plain brown cardstock. Attach that onto my card front, and now I'm just attaching the butterflies to the card, and I'm only putting the glue on the body part so that the wings stay popped up. So here are my two finished cards. They're both on 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding cards. They're both done exactly the same way. I just used 2 different stamps, and I kept one monochromatic, still using the zig markers, just using browns, and the other one with the colors. And so there you have my cards for today. Thanks so much for watching. Please head over to the Sweet and Sassy store and check out their new release for February. Beautiful products. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up and visit my blog. Bye-bye.